So I really don't know what I'm going to say, how to say it. It's been a tough week, basically tough 2 weeks. Some of you subscribers that have been with me for a while, I made a video last May when my father passed away. We buried him the day after Memorial Day. That was tough, especially having to call my mom and tell her that her husband had passed away, and then calling my children. And the last several years, I've made the time, because of COVID, I had been helping my father-in-law do his art exhibits and traveling with him and helping him. He's at 95 right now. And because of COVID, that pretty much shut down all public events and things like that. And the art shows for us never recovered enough to make it viable, profitable. So I had seen my parents on holidays and stuff, but because of that, once a month, at least, I came up here on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They have 25 acres, and so I would go around with him on the trails and help him clear up fallen trees, help him do things around, help him do things around the house. And so last year, there for a little over a month, he was at home and then was in the hospital for about a week, came home almost a week, back in the hospital for a week, and then back and forth. It was like he was a week at home, a week in the hospital, and then finally it was getting to the point where he told him he didn't want any more meds, and then also he told him that he didn't want to be on any more oxygen because his oxygen, for what they was having to give him, was really high. So from the hospital, we moved him to hospice, and within a day or two, he passed away. So since last May, I've been coming up to my mom's property now, my parents, every other weekend. So one weekend it'd be Saturday and Sunday. The next weekend it would be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I was again helping her around the house and cooking meals for her, taking her into town for shopping and pharmacy and things like that. Though, probably about a month ago, she said that her legs were swelling and it was kind of above her knees. And I'm like, oh, Mom, I wish you would have told me back when they were at your ankles. So anyway, there's some other issues my mom had. And taking her to the doctor for exam, and then we had to go back in the following week. They wanted to do an ultrasound to make sure she didn't have blood clots, and then a cardiogram and everything. So pretty much she was having some heart failure, and she wasn't eating very well, and she was getting tired more often and actually dozing during the day, which she hadn't done before. So then the one Saturday I came up here and I arrived about 8:30, and I always call to let my mom know I'm here because she has to unlock the house door to unlock the storm door so I can get in, and she didn't answer. And that kind of concerned me because she pretty much answers. So I waited a little bit and I called again. She answered, but she was talking like really slow, and I was concerned that she had had a heart attack. She mentioned something about falling, but being in her chair. So I said, well, I'm here. And then she says, well, I can't move. So anyway, I got in through the storm door and unlocked the house door and came in, and she was laying on the kitchen floor. So So my thinking is she'd fallen during the night, got into her chair, and now she fell again. And I said, well, Mom, how long you been here? And she's like, well, I fell Friday night about 8 o'clock. And it's like she's been there, 8 o'clock Friday to 8:30 in the morning on Saturday. Took her in to the hospital here in town. They said she exhibited that she'd had a heart attack, possibly a mild one. Gave her some precautionary medicine, and then we took her down into Kansas City because they had a cardio department and cardiologist and stuff. Treated her there for a while, for a couple of days, and then moved her to a rehab center. And she was just weak, tired. A couple of days doing well. But overall, I think it was a decline. And then this past Tuesday, she passed away. So this is a Friday. I'm up here with my sister. We're getting things done around the house because we're going to be selling the property and the house. And this is where I do my videoing for you guys. So I'm not sure going forward where I'm going to be at. There's a possibility my oldest son is kind of interested maybe in buying the property. I don't know yet. And in my thumbnail, it talks about, being on the slide and being at the end of the slide. And that's how I kind of see life. You're on a slide and you just don't know how short the slide is, how long it is. You got slides that are spirals. You got slides that have the humps. But you always get off at the end of the slide. And to me, when you get off that slide, that's the end of your life. When you're on the slide, you don't know when the end's going to be till you get there. And sometimes it's a longer slide. Sometimes it may be a long slide, but then at the very end, it's a steep slide and it's fast. Sometimes at the end, it's a slope and it takes you a while and you go off the end. But you always get off. My sister, years ago, I was 19, she was 17. She died in an auto accident. A semi broadsided the car she was in. It was an asphalt tanker, and basically it jackknifed, and the tanker fell like right on the top of the car at the engine hood and the windshield. And I would say she died instantly. The death certificate, I doubt if she had any bone that wasn't broken. And I picked up her effects from the hospital. I didn't let my mom see them. So we have, my sister and I, durable power of attorney, so we can sign certain documents. We also had medical power of attorney in case it needed to go that way with my mom, even though she had a DNR, do not resuscitate. At the rehab center, we had the order to do not hospitalize in case something happened to her versus going back to the hospital and they're trying to give her more medicine or poking her and doing stuff. One of the ultrasounds, though, showed she had lesions on her liver, which the doctor said probably was cancer, but at her age, 90 years old, and the condition she was in, it didn't really matter. The one thing that's helping us is back in 2013, my parents made a beneficiary deed, which is going to keep the property in the house out of probate. So for everybody out there to look to the future, whether for your kids, for your parents, a living trust or revocable trust will is going to help you when you have to deal with things like this, or the beneficiary deed. It helps a lot. So again, as I said, my sister died when I was 19. In the years since then, I've had 3 motorcycle accidents, 1 severe car accident. Traveling, I've watched in my mirrors, and a couple of times, I was able to pull over out of the way in construction zone because the semi coming over the hill was going way too fast. One time coming down a hill, and it was a curve this way, and I was coming down, and there was a string of cars, and it was night, and I was like, I know somebody's passing somebody, because they can see on the inside curve and they can see up the hill. And I had a full-size car with a 5x8 trailer, I believe, fully loaded, coming down this hill, and sure enough, somebody was passing, and nobody was letting them back in, and all I'm thinking of is trying to get my car stopped, and they're coming towards me, and it's a good thing we didn't think of it at the same time, because I'm trying to stop, and I believe right at the last instant, they pulled over on my side of the shoulder. And I wondered how I could survive these instances and my sister die in just one. And as I said, that's sometimes the short slide. So this is just me talking to you guys. Like I said, some of my subscribers that were here saw my video back in May honoring my father. I wanted to do one this year, kind of on the anniversary, as the influence of my father, and hopefully I'll have time to do that. But to show you the firearms that we had already decided upon between my brother, my sister, and I, of which firearms would go to which one of us, and show you what ones I acquired from him, and kind of lay them out and say, hey, here they are. Is there a certain one you want me to showcase and make a video of? So hopefully I can do that. But right now, mostly, I've got a few videos already done, just waiting to put out. But I don't know how many more I'm going to be able to make up here unless my son is able to buy the property, and then everything will be okay for a while. So I appreciate all my subscribers, all my viewers. I thank you so very much for watching my videos, the comments or the likes. I appreciate that. And I just ask for you to take the time to be with your family members, because that's you never know when they're going to get off that slide. So again, thank you. I appreciate it.